Congratulations, you've taken the first step to breaking the cycle of procrastination and becoming more productive. Whilst listening to this video is great, it only shows that you're interested. Applying the principles I'm going to teach you to your life shows you are committed. Being busy and being productive are two different things. Being productive is characterized by putting your attention on the most valuable priority, doing things that's going to push you closer to your goal and not make you feel good in the moment. If you're new here, my name is Solomon, also known as the bodybuilding banker. I'm an investment banker by trade and a high performance coach, and my mission is to awake that inner champion that lives inside of you. Before we discuss productivity, we need to understand why we procrastinate. Procrastination is a pattern of behavior we exhibit when we are unsure about an outcome. This happens because our brains like to run away from pain and seek pleasure. Say you're writing a blog or newsletter to your community and you're finding it hard to send out the newsletter. You might be experiencing writer's block. Your brain perceives your inability to get it done as pain and is going to push you towards something that's more pleasurable, as watching something on Netflix or flicking through social media. We procrastinate because we have a secondary gain. Our brain avoids us from taking action to save us from the fear of being embarrassed, ashamed, ridiculed, or judged. First, start applying the law of one little action. Let's go back to that example of writing a newsletter. At the point in which you feel helpless, try to write 100 more words. The benefit is that your brain takes a detour to the normal course of action. This promotes a constructive and not a destructive view of your self-esteem. As you start to take more and more action, you activate the reward center in your brain. Your brain starts to release chemicals such as dopamine and serotonin, which are associated with a sense of accomplishment. You become addicted to taking inspired action. The second principle I want to teach you is start implementing contrasting frames. This is where you go deeper and assign a cost which goes beyond the instant gratification you get from procrastinating at that particular moment in time. By going deeper, you understand that the cost of procrastination is more than the completion of the goal. So when I find myself procrastinating, I start to think, what is the impact going to be on my self-worth, on my income, on my relationships? I know if I don't plan and script these videos, I'm going to have a difficult time to film on the weekend. You can quickly see that when you begin to assign these different meanings, you'll find reasons as to why you shouldn't procrastinate. Remember, whatever behaviors we reinforce, we become. This happens when your brain moves information from your conscious mind to your subconscious mind. Now you understand the reasons why we procrastinate. Let's focus on how to be more productive. Whenever you are working towards your goals, I want you to start using RPM, also known as the results planning method. Most people are working on an idea. They ask themselves a set of questions. The most common question people ask is, what do I need to do? Asking yourself what you need to do is an okay question, but this is usually determined by what's most pressing or what is most pleasurable towards you. For example, if your manager is chasing you for work, that is where your attention is going to focus. If you're at home and you're craving a late night snack, you're most likely to go to your fridge and look for what you can eat or order something online from places like Deliveroo or Uber Eats. From now on, I want you to stop that and I want you to ask yourself, what is the outcome? Whenever I have meetings for my work or my business, first question I ask is, what is the outcome or what is the result? And I find that my 1 hour meetings are now cut down to 15 minutes because everyone is focused on one objective. With RPM, you focus on the result and that should inform your activities. Your brain will find more innovative and creative ways for you to achieve your objective. The next principle I want you to apply is do the hardest thing first. Willpower is a finite resource. Some of us have more of it, and some of us have less of it. Doing the hardest thing, the most mentally taxing thing, the thing that you're most likely dreading, you are doing it when you have the most energy and you increase the likelihood of success. Think of it logically. If you were about to travel in your car on a long distance journey, the first thing you will do is fill your car up with fuel. Here's another example, and I know that we all do this. We always make sure our phones are charged. We want our phones to last for the duration of the day. If you wait to the end of the day, you're likely to deplete your energy resources, not have as much mental bandwidth to do mentally taxing tasks at the end of your day. For example, I always go to the gym at the end of my day. Why? I know I have a greater likelihood of success of scripting, writing, and filming content in the morning because this is where I have the most willpower. I've been going to the gym for over 10 years now and I've won national bodybuilding competitions. Because I have that experience, I built that evidence with myself and I know I'm going to go to the gym even when I don't feel like it. But I can't necessarily say the same when it comes to doing activities related to my business. Next, prioritize deep work. This was a term that I was introduced to when I read Cal Newport's book, which ironically is called Deep Work, and it discusses the rules for focused success in a distracted world. Definition of deep work is focusing without distraction on a cognitively demanding task. I want you to pay attention. The first part, and probably the most easiest part, is cognitively demanding. That means to work hard at something. Anyone could work hard and think about something diligently. Second, and the most critical part of the definition, what most people struggle with is focusing on something without distraction. It doesn't matter much when you're doing administrative tasks such as checking emails. This comes more into play where you're doing something that requires your focus, such as writing and scripting content for your newsletter, for your audience, or for your YouTube channel. You are doing things in the absence of context shifts. Context shift is when you shift your focus or attention from one cognitive task to another. And for deep work, you cannot have these shifts. You can manage your distractions in several ways. First of all, you can start doing things such as time boxing. This is the idea of allocating blocks of time to do deep and focused work. Another tip is using the Pomodoro technique. This is where you focus your attention on one particular task for say 25 minutes and then you have a 5-minute break. And you can do this in multiple cycles, and at the end of it, you'll find that you've completed more work than you would have if you were just shifting your attention from one thing to another. Next principle, and probably the most important thing, is do the most valuable priority, also known as the MVP. Whenever you are embarking on a task or activity, ask yourself, is the thing that I'm focusing on moving me closer to my overall goal? Is this thing I'm working on making me feel good for the moment, but will make me regret in the long term? When you start to ask yourself these questions, you come up with better answers and you are able to distinguish between what you must do versus what you should do. Proverbs 14:23 says, all hard work surely leads to profit, but mere talk only leads to poverty. Let's break that down. The word surely can be translated to with certainty or without doubt. Only means one outcome. Replace those translations back into the verse. The verse will read, all hard work without doubt or with certainty leads to profit. Profit can represent success, abundance, joy, finances, but mere talk, and that could represent time wasting, procrastination, indecision, inaction. Only, which means there is one outcome. Poverty can mean failure or lack. Make sure that you are consistently working towards your goals and apply these tips to become more productive and beat procrastination. Thank you guys again for watching. If you found this valuable, I will be releasing my high performance course. I'll go through the 4 pillars of high performance and I'll give you my framework that has allowed me to speak at the likes of Microsoft, Fizz, WorldPay, and King's College London and receive several awards, including recognition by Sir Richard Branson himself. In this course, you will have access to a library of content which is not available on YouTube, get one-on-one time with me, be exposed to my personal network, and be part of my inner circle community. You can ask any question because our mission is to help you be the best version of you.